Hey, what's up everybody? This is Damron with Trash Ass Gamers, and today we're happy to bring you the winners of the 2019 Top 10 Elder Scrolls Online Housing Contest that we decided to offer to the entire Xbox North American server community. Had a lot of great submissions. It was really fun going and seeing everybody's houses. We're going to show you the top 10 that were selected, and obviously the top 3 got their share at $1 million in gold to be paid directly from me. So we're really happy to bring you this. So let's go ahead and start with number 10, which comes from cbutcher1. cbutcher1 built his home on the Amaya Lake Lodge, and the outside portion, was pretty decent. Overall, there was a lot of empty space though. He had built a few things here and there. You can see this rock monster he built outside. A small little details such as putting fish in the water in the outside pond were pretty cool. But walking around, there was a few things that kind of felt out of place, right? The dwarven structure there, he had a painting outside on the wall that probably is getting ruined from the rain. But he had a lot of cool stuff in the house. So in the inner portion of the storehouse, he kind of converted this to a bar with his Clockwork City slot machine, and then had a nice little bar table with his bartender over here. It looks pretty nice. The lighting's okay in this room in certain areas, but there's a few things off, right? That ham is kind of not flush with the plate. It's off of it a little bit. And then over in the corner here where the seating area with a game that can be played by people at the bar was just very, very dark, and the walls were pretty bare. So not a lot of detail in every aspect. Moved inside to the main lodge, you can see this looks pretty nice, right? Everything was kind of spread out, very well done. And then going upstairs, he had a nice table with some trophies on the walls, and I thought the lighting in here was really good. Everything was well spaced out. You didn't feel your eyes getting drawn to any particular portion of the room. But then you kind of moved a bit further and we get into his crafting area, and things are just a little bare, right? We've got two bookshelves with nothing in them. The walls in here, the paintings are different levels on the wall. Just not a lot of detail in every aspect of the house, but overall felt pretty good just walking around. Certainly put a lot of effort into making it look nice. I really enjoyed walking down the stairs and seeing his trophies on the homemade built shelves. So that was pretty cool. We moved on to the bedroom portion. Again, some of the areas the lighting was a little off. We had very, very dark spots where you couldn't see much, and a little bit of details were off. You can see the chest and the bed here were actually not flush with the floor, and if you look closely, they're actually floating up in the midair. So a little bit of details here and there, but overall, well done. Number 10 for C Butcher. Congratulations on making it into the top 10. So moving on to number 9, summerlce. summerlce built her home on Pariah's Pinnacle, and this home had a lot of different cool things to it that had stories within them. So as soon as you walk in, this was kind of a tribute to the battlegrounds out there. She had the fire drake and all the other, symbols to match the different factions you could do, and then kind of going into the first large area of the house was a very large trophy room with all kinds of statues that are really difficult to get, and corresponding flags for kind of all the Daedric gods throughout the game. And I was told this is the trophy room of the house. Few little details were off. You can see the bear hide up there is off the wall. I didn't think the paintings fit well with the kind of Daedric god theme, and they were also not flush with the wall. So little details off in that room. We moved outside. Really cool statue of someone praying to Malakath, and she actually has a Malakath prayer lore book down there you can read to coincide with that, and a lot of tributes to different aspects of the game. As we moved around, we kind of came to this area, which was a tribute to the end of the story of Ursinium, which obviously I won't give you the spoiler for that, but this is pretty cool, right? This is completely self-built little area, and just the overall aesthetics of outside, really well done with the waterfall, kind of letting everything flow together. We moved a little bit deeper in, and we went to a portion which I was told represented the Mages Guild. This is really cool because there was a lot of detail in here, but the only thing that was really unfortunate is that the detail didn't just really come into your eyes because the room was so dark. And then the blacksmithing slash crafting area, I thought this was great with the furnace. Just the way this looks makes me feel like I need to start crafting a weapon. And the last portion of the house is where I'm told 1v1 battles take place, and if you deny a 1v1, you're going to get crushed by stone, or you're going to get your head chopped off by a guillotine. So overall, really well done. A lot of cool details in there. Congratulations, summerlce, for getting number 9, and we're moving on. Alright, so number 8 is coming from SOTC Raven. This house is built in the Ebonheart Chateau. This is a difficult house to decorate because the area itself is very dark and the inner side of the castle is very dark, and actually portions of the house are a little dark, for that reason. But overall, very good job. The outside looked very symmetrical with the blue lights. You can see the spider there attacking the smugglers, so that was pretty funny up in the tree. She had her transmute station shrine that looked very good. And then going into the tower, which a lot of people just leave empty, there was actually a lot of detail in here that were very, very nice. And as we moved our way onto the overlook of the tower, it was a nice place for marriage ceremonies. In fact, I was told that actual marriage ceremonies have happened here. As we go back outside, we went into what was the stables of the house. Some of the crafting in here was very dark. I didn't think there was a lot of detail in here, but that's okay. I wish the lighting was a little bit better in here to kind of pop out some of the stuff that we're looking at. And then as we go right on the outside of that, I actually really like what was done here with the blacksmithing portion. Put the wall in the back with the hung up tools. Again, a soul shriven slave performing some duties, making a new axe there. Moving to the other side of the outside portion of the house was a cool little restaurant that is basically completely built from scratch. And as we move to the last part of the outside, kind of the back right was a 1v1 area, I was told, where players can battle, and those that decline the battle will meet the guillotine. A horn to signal the battle, a couple thrones for people to sit and watch the two people having their duels. So that was a nice little stage. We moved into the inner portion of the walkway. Was to the left a nice fireplace, and to the right was a really cool fish tank that, again, self-built all these pieces to make this really cool fish tank. I thought this was very creative, something very unique to this house, and just unique in general. Very well done. But overall, the entryway is kind of bare. As you're looking down to the throne, there's just not much to see. To the left and to the right, we've got all of our trophies and everything. But again, this is a lot of space to decorate, and that's a lot of the times the problems that happens in the Ebonheart Chateaus. You run out of items to decorate the actual home. But I wish the throne area was a little more grand. It's very dark. You can see, I see the two thrones there, but there's just not much around. You think the king and the queen would want to have a lot of stuff, but hey, if you're not happy, turn yourself into a monkey and run off. Moving on, the unique part about this house was kind of it paid tribute to all the alliances, which was kind of a cool aspect. We go upstairs and we go into this game room. And you can do some drugs, I guess, there if you want to. But as we progress further, you'll see there's some homage to each of the alliances. And I was told, this house was welcoming to all alliances, so kind of a neutral place for everyone to come gather. And here we are in the first portion of that, the Daggerfall Covenant, which had a lot of cool details. What I really liked about the house is that every aspect, there's small details that really make this room shine. The bookshelves are completely full. The desk has this piece of paper and even a writing utensil. The books, everything are small details that make it appear as if it is being used, as if it is actually something that people go and use. And then the secret room behind this tapestry is completely built. This is a built floor. This is not an actual area normally in the house. So this is a self-made floor, and this pays tribute to the Aldmeri Dominion. As we went to the other side of the upstairs, had a nice little bathroom with the bathtub and robe and your toiletries up in the cabinet there. And then as we progressed downstairs into the castle, again, the theme tribute to all the alliances. If we looked on the other wall, though, a little things were out of place. You can see the sword on the left there is too pushed too far into the wall, so you're not getting that symmetrical feel. Even the sights there are not exactly symmetric, so small little details that could be improved there. But then as we progressed even a little further, we get to more of the Ebonheart Pack tribute area. You can read about the lusty Argonian tale if you're into the 50 Shades of Grey type of thing. So that was pretty funny. You can sit on the chair and enjoy a nice read. But this is the master bedroom, even had a safe for you to store your items so they don't get stolen when people are coming and visiting. So overall, I thought the house was very good. Again, it is kind of dark, but that's one of the problems with the Ebonheart Chateau. Inside it is very dark and it's difficult to light up very well. But overall, I thought the small details within the house were done very, very good. So congratulations, SOTC Raven, on getting number 8 in our contest, and keep making houses because I hope to see some more. Alright, so moving on. Alright, so number 7, Vandalism 1023 has built this home on the Exorcised Coven Cottage, and this is renownedly now called Burlapia. And this house was really, really creative, really unique. Basically had built a small village of these burlap people. You can see they're made out of burlap sacks, and I thought that was very unique. It was very fun. It was very fresh. So here we have the first citizen of Burlapia. She's sweeping her doorstep, has her pet animals out here. A lot of great attention to detail, even in the floral arrangements, but everything was really well done in the sense that I didn't see any flaws, things hanging out of place, just weird stuff. It was all really well done. Things were placed properly. You can see basically she's built a doorway and windows out of tables and things shoved into the wall to make it seem like that is her home as a citizen of Burlapia. So then we kind of moved our way upstairs to the upper portion of the house and had this basically circular village type area of the burlap people. And we have the burlap merchant seller here who's filleting some fish and maybe rolling some sushi for the citizens of Burlapia. But all the detail, just looking around the room, was very well done. You have the town drunk here, I was told, sitting on the bench drinking his ale. But you can see all the kind of doorways in the wall. Obviously, you can't enter those, it's all built. But that is the bank. You have the bank symbol. So all this is kind of built from scratch. This obviously isn't part of the actual interior of the house. This was built, and these stones up top are kind of secluding it from the rest of the area. The only problem I had with this house is that I wanted more. There wasn't much to it. We had the downstairs with the lady sweeping her porch. You even have the burlap mom and child here next to the tree, and the drunk and the merchant and everything. but there just wasn't enough. That was it. These two large rooms. But I thought it was very, very creative, very well done for what it was. I just wanted more. I wanted to be able to walk into a room. I wanted to see more of Burlapia. That was the feeling I had when I left. So that's how I knew, this was very well done. I enjoyed walking and looking at the creativeness of it. So congratulations, Vandalism, for getting number 7 in the 2019 contest. So let's move on. Coming in at number 6 is Bloodless Moon 49 with the Grand Bazaar of the Cold Harbor Surreal Estate. This was a really cool idea. She had basically a walkway that surrounded the entire center portion of what she built, and basically this was designed as a protection from Molag Bal in Cold Harbor. So the lights in the walkway were something that Molag Bal couldn't cross. So it generated an area where merchants from all across Tamriel could set up shop and could have a area of merchandise in Cold Harbor. So that was a pretty cool idea, and the whole Grand Bazaar had a shop-like feel as you walked through it. You walked different tents, and what was really cool is that she had representations from almost every aspect of Tamriel, the different races, the different items, the styles of things you could buy. There was a crafting tent we just passed, the bakery, this person selling fish. It was funny touring with Bloodless Moon. She said, "Oh, and, this is where the person sells the fish for the market." So it was really cool, and it felt like a market as you were walking around. Here's an arts and crafts type of tent. This area is next to a bathhouse that was more of a Khajiit style bathhouse with Khajiit type items. And you saw the flower stand that was also behind us a minute ago. That was with Cold Harbor flowers. I thought that was pretty cool. But overall, I think this was very well done. Everything was put together very, very nicely, and it was very thought out, especially in the Cold Harbor Surreal Estate, which is a vast open space that is difficult to build on in a way that feels structured and doesn't feel so open. I mean, you really felt like you were busy in here, which I think is difficult to do because the Cold Harbor Surreal Estate is so open. I mean, this still felt like a bazaar. There was a lot of things to look at, a lot of details in every single tent. So congratulations, Bloodless Moon 49. You've landed the number 6 spot as we're rolling into your Sijic tent area for the Grand Bazaar in the Cold Harbor Surreal Estate. I think it was very well done. Everything was very clean. There were no little errors in the way things were placed. Everything just looked really, really nice. I was very impressed with this Grand Bazaar and just the idea of having a safe zone in Cold Harbor protected by the lights surrounding it. Was really great. Here was even a little area where you could buy some livestock. Of course, it was right next to the blacksmithing, so I guess they're getting branded right before they get sold, next to some elf type tents. So as you can see, really just representations of everything around Tamriel, and within each of those tents, everything is very unique to that race or that alliance or that aspect of what she's trying to show, or what that type of merchant would bring from the area of the world that that person would live. So, again, great job. Congratulations on number 6. And let's move on. All right, so we're moving into the top 5, and number 5 goes to Hail God Trump, who also built his home on the Cold Harbor Surreal Estate. And this is a really, really cool home. I think you're really going to like this. Basically, he has built an entire small town or small village per se. In fact, all the buildings that you're going to see, he has built from scratch. All the walls, all the structures, all the pillars, everything is all built from scratch. Every building we walk into is entirely built from him. So we walk into the first building here, which is a Fighters Guild type building. You can see all the small details in here. He's got Thorvoken up on the bookshelf, but the bookshelves are full. All kinds of small details in these buildings on top of actually building the buildings themselves. And on the other side of the Fighters Guild building is an area that you can train, do your DPS testing, and then as well as a sleeping area for the Fighters Guild people as well. So we'll kind of show you through the buildings that he built, but he did also build a few statues, a few, areas of prayer. Here's a large statue, and I think the choice of lighting and the braziers were very well done. The floral work around the statue base is also very good. Um, all the statues kind of held their own. They didn't feel out of place, even though they were kind of separate from the buildings when you're walking around, this little town per se. These statues didn't feel out of place. They fit in with the overall mood of the area. Here's an area of execution if you're found for your crimes, which coincides with a very nice courthouse that I'll show you later. So here's another building that was built, some sleeping quarters, kind of for the workers in the area. It also has a way that you can get onto the roof, which I thought was pretty cool. And keep in mind, all these structures are completely built from scratch. So here you can kind of go up onto the roof and get a view of the scenery. Now, I did think that this tent was a little out of place. I thought, it didn't kind of fit with the overall style of the area. The kind of red color. I didn't think it fit in very well. But this area to test your DPS against a trial boss was pretty awesome. A nice dragon shrine was also in the area. So again, this kind of fit very well, right? This kind of stone artwork. So here we're moving on to the main home of the area. Again, this is built, so here's our dining area in the lower portion, and as we went upstairs, there was three bedrooms, two side bedrooms, and then the master bedroom here. Now, the detail within each room and the detail within some of the buildings, there's not a lot, right? There's no painting on the walls, there's not a lot of small details, but that's difficult to do because he used a lot of his housing items to actually build the structures. Here, hidden underneath one of the buildings, was an area that is the Thieves Guild, per se. So that's an area that represents that. And this is a really cool building. As we move into here on the left side is the crafting area. So this area is where he does all of his crafting. And then on the other side of this building is the banker, and across from the building being the merchant. And the banker's really cool. He's obviously protected from robbery. He's got the grate in front of him, but you can still talk to him to do your banking transactions. I thought that was a very cool little building that he built. So moving on into another building, this is the bar slash restaurant area. It even has a music box playing some music, several tables with some nice chairs laid out for people to come and drink their ale and get a little drunk, share stories of Tamriel, and then once you've drank enough, come to the back and enjoy the stripper pole. All Alright, so we're moving up on the final building, which is the courthouse in the town, and this is really great, along with everything else we've seen. Again, all built from scratch, and that's the most impressive part to me, is that he's built all these buildings and all these structures, and this courthouse is very well done. You're never getting caught on stairways, your character's never getting caught. You can really fluidly walk throughout this entire building and all the buildings that he's built, which is impressive in and of itself. And in this courthouse, we have the prosecution and the defendants on the right. You even have an area to swear to tell the truth, and the judge presiding over the procedures in these chairs, to see who's going to be sent out back to be executed. So overall, I thought this was very well done. I think everything is very fluid and built very precisely. So congratulations, Hail God Trump, for getting number 5. All right, so coming in at number 4 is Little Fireball 2, who built her home on the Tel Galen Tower. And this is such a beautiful home. You really have to kind of know what it looks like before she's decorated it. It kind of looks like a giant flesh atronach, but she has done an amazing floral arrangement in this entire house to give it this natural wizard-like feel, and it really feels that way. You almost have to just kind of take your time and enjoy it for what it is, because it is so elegantly done, and all the details, all the flowers have been placed by her, and all this is put together to have a very natural and beautiful feel as you're walking through it. So let's just enjoy this for a moment while we make our way inside. So we move inside, and you can just appreciate the beauty and the floral arrangements, the arrangements of everything to make it have this natural look. And we'll kind of walk around here. As we're into the top 4, we're going to allow you to just view more of the home, spend more time just appreciating what we're seeing. And as you can see, I think one of the best parts about this house is everything from the table to the chairs to the candle stands to the lights on the walls. Everything fits in with the theme of this home. There's nothing that you're going to see that feels out of place, in the sense of feeling like this is a home that represents nature in a, wizard type home situation. I mean, this is just beautiful, and the small little attention to detail, even if you're looking in the kitchen area, is just superb. Nothing's off, things are not, out of place or misaligned. All the little details within this home are extraordinarily well done, and I really can tell walking through here how much time was put in to giving this house that feel. As we moved into the throne room, this room was was designed to be able to house every leader of every part of Tamriel to come and have a meeting if they should see the need to do that. And also, even in here, the vines on the walls, the lighting, everything feels natural. And that, I think, that feeling of this natural kind of wizard type home was just so beautiful and very enjoyable to walk through. Even the floral arrangement in the throne room over here, there's so much detail to making this look the way that it does, and the lights provided by the lights in the ceiling as well as the floral pieces that also provide a little luminescence just give the house a very natural feel to it. So as we're making our way into the master suite of the home, just want to give a big congratulations to Little Fireball 2. I thought this home was very beautiful. All the attention to detail was great. So congratulations to making it into the top 4, very, very close to the top 3. This was a very difficult decision to make. The point at which the top 3, who obviously are winning prizes for you, was very, very difficult. So congratulations. This is a really, really well done house, and thank you for entering the contest and sharing it with us. So let's get moving into the top 3. And coming in at number 3 in the first distribution of a prize is Grim Lady Death. So congratulations, you can check your box for 200,000 gold. And what makes this house so great, and what you need to understand, is that if you look over the left there, that is the house. And over to the right, as we're standing on the outer wall of the home, everything to the right is the harbor. And everything over there she has built. She has built an entire home on the outside of the wall of the actual home. So as we walk up, starting here, everything is built from the walls to the floors to the stairs. This is a completely created home, nice mailbox and gate entryway into our home that is completely built from scratch. Everything you see is built from scratch and built to have a view of this beautiful harbor that lied on the outside of this home. So just an absolutely great architectural build, because this is a multi-floor home with stairs that are interconnected, multiple rooms, and all the rooms are able to have this view of the harbor, which she told us was very important to her as she built it. She wanted everything to have a view of the harbor. And even all the rooms and everything that you're going to see has extraordinary detail. You can see the sink over there in the kitchen has running water coming into it. Just all the small details in this home really made it great, on top of the fact that it was completely built from scratch. So here we are moving through the kitchen, and we'll make our way through the home and kind of enjoy that this is all built from scratch architecturally, and then the small details that really bring it out. So here we go down into this kind of dining area, but look at the vine work and all the little details on the tables and this magnificent view. It's very open. She's kept it very open to make this harbor view very magnificent. And you feel that when you're standing there, when you're kind of looking around. It's very, inspiring. It's a very beautiful view. And then you can see the stairs to the left. So now we've gone down the first set of stairs into the first floor of the home, which has a nice living area with the house pets and the nice house fire, as well as the entryway into the master bedroom of the home. This home also featured a son and daughter room, which we'll look at next. And again, even the master bedroom and the son and daughter room both have grand views of that harbor. And we're moving down to the bottom floor, which features the throne, some nice tables there to sit and talk, as well as some trophies. Really cool now because we're actually into the water portion of the harbor. So this is actual harbor water, and in fact, that little pond there has a trap. It's filled with piranhas. So if you jump into that pond, you will actually be killed by piranhas. But it's really awesome how she's built this on top of the piranhas, right? So all this is on top of that harbor. We are just above the water here. Beautiful throne, nice layout of the treasure, and the bust from the veteran dungeons and the vines on the walls really brings this room to life. Really enjoyed the painting here, even again the small details of having the different colors of paint to use in the painting. And then we entered the lowest portion of the home, in which she had created a pool, and she found a small area in the harbor that didn't have piranhas. And this is a very small area that I was told where you could swim without being eaten. So she built these stairs around this as a safe pool area in which you can actually enter the harbor and swim and not get eaten by piranhas. So I mean, just the sheer creativity in building this home out of scratch with 4 levels to it, and the pool at the very bottom, all the detail, the small bathhouse here to go with the pool. I mean, this was very, very well done. Everything is just really thought out. You can tell that Grim Lady really put a lot of effort into the house. Even have a roll of toilet paper in here. I mean, there's just so many small details in this home that are beautiful and very worthy of making it to the top 3. So congratulations, check your mail for your prize. So we're moving on to the next number 2, which goes to Brando Commando. So congratulations, check your mail for 300K. This is a pretty awesome house because he's built everything from scratch, and the theme is Star Wars, in which you walk through different scenes throughout the story. The first room is dark, but as it should be. This represents the Rancor pit in Jabba's palace on Tatooine, where Luke Skywalker goes to rescue Princess Leia, but instead is thrown down this trap door because Jabba would rather drop victims down and watch them get eaten by the Rancor than actually listen to what they say. So he puts him, and actually Luke escapes through this gate here, which is shown in this scene. The next scene in the house takes place where Luke Skywalker crashes his X-Wing on Daboba 4, in which he initially meets Yoda and actually carries Yoda in a backpack as Yoda tries to teach him the ways of the Force. The X-Wing was brilliantly built. Just the entire scene area, again, it all looks so well done. You even have the R2-D2 here on top of the X-Wing, all of the details of the vines and the, really looks like a crashed X-Wing. So that really looks pretty awesome. And then from this, we actually move into Yoda's hut, and Yoda is, performing the Force on a stack of books, which looks pretty cool right here. And again, what I think is great about this house and what's worthy of him getting the number 2 spot is that he's really created all of this using, different pieces that you can use to build, essentially Yoda and the X-Wing and things like that. He's really created all of this atmosphere. As we move on to the next scene in the house, alright, so we're moving on to the next scene, which is on Ondor, where the Ewoks live, and they basically are in a battle with the Imperials at the Imperial bunker, and they're helping the, rebel forces attack this bunker, and he's even built an AT-AT right here, as well as an Ewok on top of the logs there. Overall, again, little tidbits, little Easter eggs within these scenes, but everything, again, built from scratch, very well done. This is a really cool scene. So let's have a look at this. Alright, so we're moving through some tunnels to the next scene, which is a very famous scene in which Luke, Han, Chewie, and Leia are trying to escape the Death Star and fall into a trash compactor that has a monster in it. And they eventually prevent being squashed by using that big pipe to stop the walls from squashing them. So again, very cool scene. Very good attention to detail by Brando Commando in building another scene from Star Wars. Then we traverse through the next area to enter the next scene of this themed Star Wars home, in which we are the desert of Tatooine, and Jabba's skiff is up top, and also he has a Scarlac pit here as well, and also you can see C3PO Easter egg with his legs sticking out of the sand, which I'll show you in a minute. But again, the attention to detail and how this is, each scene is completely separated from the rest of the house. You kind of traverse these tunnels and you enter this scene, and you're kind of engulfed by this scene from the exterior to the interior. You feel contained within that scene as if it is, where you are. So I think he did a really, really good job of that. Then we fall through the Scarlac Pit to enter the last scene, in which this takes place on Hoth during the Imperial invasion of the Rebel hideout. Luke gets lost in a blizzard, passes out, wakes up hanging upside down, as you see there, in a tunnel where he sees a Wampa eating the corpse of his Tauntaun mount. He uses the Force to pull his lightsaber from the floor and cut himself down and kill the Wampa. So again, really awesome house, great attention to detail. Definitely worthy of the number 2 spot. So congratulations, Brando Commando. Very well done. Thank you for entering the contest. We really enjoyed walking through your home. And that brings us to the winner of our contest, Earth Airplane 66. Congratulations. You'll have 500K waiting for you in your mailbox. This house was magnificent. You have to know a little bit of backstory to understand the concept of this house, and that it was designed to reflect the art from an artist, a very famous artist known as MC Escher, who lived from 1898 to 1972, and he was very famous for his mathematical artwork that kind of defied gravity. And one of his most famous pieces was a piece called Relativity, and you can look it up. It was originally a lithograph printed by the Dutch artist in December of 1953, and this art depicted a world in which the normal laws of gravity did not apply, and the architectural structures basically fell in line with that. You had multiple stairwells going in multiple different directions, and the people were standing on them yet not falling. And Earth Airplane 66 did a remarkable job of constructing something that essentially depicted the artwork of Relativity by MC Escher. It's so well done, it's almost hard to describe. We're just going to walk through it. Unfortunately, there are pieces where I can't be in just screenshot mode because you have to jump. There's a little parkour aspects to this house. But I hope you enjoy it. We'll touch a few things here and there, but overall, he won because of the sheer creativity of building this, and also the it was so difficult, must have been so difficult to make things look so in place, yet upside down or sideways, and also having the entire house interconnected in a way that you could still walk through it while having this mind-twisting anti-gravity aspect to the home. Really enjoyed this home. I thought it was so creative and just so elegantly done. All the details within this, everything connected very well. It was even difficult to get through some of the areas due to, you felt backwards and upside down, right? So very, very good job. Congratulations. Let's kind of look through the house here.
So Earth Airplane told us that every once in a while he has contests, and the contest is to actually make it to the end of the home, which is represented by an Elder Scroll, which we'll come up on later. But as we kind of go through this secret passage here, a little Easter egg is this library. You kind of walk down here, and you're standing on books. But again, everything looks as if if you were standing on the ground, it would be built very, very well. Except you're standing on a wall, and everything's upside down. So really, the tribute to MC Escher in this home, I thought, was extraordinarily well done. The attention to detail, being able to get everything to fit into this space in a way that you can walk through it and not have objects bulging out in the walls, aka the spacing of him building this home was really perfect. It was just, very creative. I wasn't even expecting to come into a home like this, so I was very impressed, and I'm very happy to grant you the #1 spot in this year's housing contest. In which case you win 500,000 gold. So congratulations again. Congratulations to everyone that made the top 10. It was very fun to put this together. Obviously, it was very time consuming. I know it's coming out a little late on April 7th. So if you've been waiting to see the results, I apologize for it coming out a little late in the day. But it took me a very long to to put this together. But I wanted it to be done right, to showcase the houses that won in a way that I thought did them justice. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the top 10 houses. Thanks again to everyone who submitted their home into the contest, and congratulations again to the winners. Hopefully, if this goes well, we'll see how well this is received. If you guys enjoy this type of stuff, hopefully we can do a housing contest again next year. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you out in Elder Scrolls.